Welcome back to Manual Liberty. I'm Connor, and today we're going to be doing a very long overdue upgrade to my MK3 3D printer. And before we go any further into that, I do want to let y'all know that the video today will be brought to you by me. And if you're not aware, you probably haven't been, if you're unable to follow me or haven't been following me on any other media, then you wouldn't know that I've kind of had my own little quote unquote hobby 3D kind of whatever you want to call it going on for a while now. And I'll link all that down below. If you haven't already followed me on there, I would encourage you to do that, given the fact that I more frequently upload on there than I do on here, given the fact that I don't really want to completely intertwine my kind of 3D printing with my normal automotive. However, I'll bring you along here for a little bit that I made. Beginning off here, if you have been following the channel for any amount of time now, you might remember my 3D printed 350 emblem. At one point in time, the eye right there did light up along with the QT350 on the bottom. However, water did end up getting in there, or the EL panel burnout. I don't really know what yet, but I'm kind of waiting until I get a 350R front lip to take the bumper back off and redo that. But it'll hopefully be even better than before, and I'll be going to an LED on the new one. And now for what I've been working on here lately. Got a Florida track here with the firm on a topographic background here, you can kind of tell. And you know, my local road that I'm really fond of, that I drive quite a bit, not very far away from me at all, that done in topographic. Another road not very far from me either. And we got the Corvette Park track here too. And along with all that here, I am currently working on Barber for the track, and I'm working on, for the local people, I'm currently working on 421 and 129 that I'll have done and printed at a later date. But with that, I have found a 3D photo frame that can be included when you buy one of any of the topographic. They're all identical in height and width. That way, if you want to move them out, you know, and only have one photo frame for them, you can do that. But they do fit perfectly in the little 3D photo frame area here, and they look really cool. They go along really well if you have a track photo, or you know, like if you do 129, get a photo by Killboy, or 129 photo, whoever. That would look really cool along with a photo of your car, I think, in my opinion. And that'll be it for that. Again, we do have, I do currently have more in the working, but that'll be that for that now on the topographic end. And moving forward here along down the product line that I currently have made, I do have a kind of file ready to go for a, you know, kind of light up LED Cobra. And you know, that can be any color you want it to be with a remote. I don't have an adapter on me currently, but you know, that would work off remote. I do have a photo or two of that being lit up on my other media. And here I have what are a drink pad, whatever you want to call them, in a rotor. They come 4 to a pack. They all kind of hang out here. You can pull out one at a time, put a drink on it, like that. And I have them in red, and I have them in black too. And moving on down the line, I do have a ton of keychain availability. Got a 350R, 350R, one here, regular 350, 500, and unrelated to Ford, but a Viper, Corvette. And back to Ford with the GT and the Mach 1 that I've apparently broken. But, you know, I can definitely remake more, and I do have more laying around. And then a double Cobra keychain like that, front and back like that. Yeah, quite a bit here, and I can virtually make anything that you might come up with. In fact, a client had me make them a coyote logo. You can find that on my other media too, along with the 5.0 kind of logo that would normally be on the fender of a GT. But yeah, overall, you know, there you go. Have quite a bit made and working on more continually. I do have a link for you to buy anything online rather than going through me directly. Although if you do go through me directly, that will allow me to cut down on the fee that I have to pay monthly to keep them up, and that'll keep you a little bit of money too. But if you are looking for a relatively cheap gift for whoever over the holiday, then I'd be happy to help you out. Go check that out. I'd really be thankful, or, you know, put that out there and try to get my name out there to make a little bit off of what I'm doing here. The rotor caliper drink thing have been really popular. They've been doing really well. But yeah, if you need to know about anything, I am currently working on uploading everything to that link. That way, you know, if you don't know me and you don't really want to, you know, gamble with getting a product or not that you paid for, I get it. But again, if you do feel comfortable, that will definitely make it cheaper for you and I both. And yeah, we'll get on to the video now. And getting on into the video now of looking at the MMU2, I think, unit. I could be wrong on that. I did have the idea to begin with to kind of do like a, you know, complete breakdown of putting it together. Although I ended up finding a kind of like PDF, I think it might have been, online for putting the whole unit together, along with how to modify your current printer to adapt it to. And frankly, the entire length of putting the whole thing together topped out to like an hour, and I really didn't want to, you know, have that long of a video for what will now be a outdated unit. They have come out with a new printer, I think maybe even two now. However, if you're not really in the know of what the MMU2 will be, it will allow you to print 5 different filament at, you know, all automatically without you having to manually pull out one filament from the hot end and, you know, put another one in, take it out, put it in, whatever like that. It'll do everything automatically. However, I did find here at the beginning, and we'll talk about it more in a moment, that it did have a little bit of trouble. Apparently, that'll do it for the multimedia kind of putting together. I have yet to take apart the little bit I've got to do for my MK3, but for the part here, we are done. I've got to move on again to taking a little bit off of my MK3 in order to accommodate it for the new thing here, and then we'll get to the electronic part, and I'll bring you back for that. And now here, again, it'll kind of be a my fault thing too that I'll have to end up redoing, and I'll point out in a moment to you why in real time. However, right here, I did model and print what I thought would work for, you know, holding the filament, given the fact that I didn't really like the kind of tray and roller bearing thing that they gave you, you know, within the kit. And I'll have to redo that, but I'll let you look at it now in real time to kind of elaborate on what I'm talking about. And right here you can tell I've kind of got the filament all over, but I ended up taking the original filament bracket holder thing to elevate it off above, even where I had the rounded part, to let it freely pull rather than have it down in there and, you know, have another rod up here to, you know, hold it from being pulled forward off of the kind of holder for it. I will have to end up redoing that, and more than likely what I'll do will have another hole, but up here higher. That way they can all, freely rotate without having to, fight the current thing that I've got going on here. My other big complaint being that I really don't like the buffer thing here, and I'd really like to take the time to model and look at a more friendlier way to get the filament up to the MMU2. Given the fact that I've not really had any real luck with any printer I've ever had with the PTFE tubing regarding, reliability all the time and not having filament clogged up in here or failing to come in or pull back out to load another filament. And now we have gotten the MMU2 mounted on the main body of the printer along with the firmware update for it. And I only put the white and black filament in the 1 and 2 area, and it'll currently be building up the wipe tower right now to do a multicolor 3D print. You can tell here we've got the black going in after the white, and again putting it on the wipe tower in order to get all the white filament out and bring the black in. That way you don't have any, or well, very minimal color combining or whatever have you there. And here we've got error that kind of had been prevalent until I really got it figured out, and I had kept tampering with how tight I had the MMU2 bolt on the left and right to kind of regulate how tight you pull the filament through. And it took me a while to kind of, really get that dialed in to where it could do everything automatically without me having to, manually help it along. And I found out later that if you go ahead and load, 3 will be better, 4 will be better, and if you load all 5, it'll really make the overall unit perform better, given the fact that you have more of a even kind of plane to help pull all the filament through rather than having it tighter on one end than the other. And I do continue to kind of have that problem every now and then, but definitely not like I did before. I don't feel completely confident yet in how I've got it dialed in to, kind of leave it alone and ignore it. Anytime that I'm printing, like here with the topo that I brought up in the beginning of the video, I'm not really completely comfortable yet leaving it alone to, do the whole thing without any problem. However, I've definitely been getting it dialed in while I've been going along here, and that had definitely helped out a lot. Overall, I really like the unit. Again, I found a thing or two that I'd really like to redo and make better regarding, being able to walk away from the printer and not have to worry about it having a error or anything like that. But overall, I'm pretty happy with it. I like being able to print in multi-filament or different color filament, and that really allowed me to make more, and that'll really be about it. I do really like to kind of do the 3D printing here during our winter time, given the fact that I can't normally do my normal regular automotive content, but hopefully here you found the video halfway entertaining. If you are a owner of the printer I have and you need to know anything about the MMU2 or the printer, or you're completely new to printing, feel free to drop a comment. I will try to help you any way I can. Thank you all for coming by, and I'll talk to you in another video.